everyone. We are here at HL Curriculum and we are making a fall wreath. Specifically, we're making a pampas wreath. So this is pampas grass. It is having a huge moment right now in the floral world. It's obviously been around for a very long time. We've had pampas for a few years, but for whatever reason, it's trending right now. And I wanted to go ahead and incorporate some of this into my wreath. So as always, some good floral shears. Please, in terms of wreaths, I have used a few things over the years, what works best for me. I buy these rings and they're basically, I think you can search like on Google, like embroidery rings and then try and get like 12-inch sizes or 18-inch sizes if you really want a big wreath. But I always get the ring, and the reason that I get them is because I can build on them. So there's, I guess, the kind of like fall wreath with all of the branches, you know, the really thick ones. I'd prefer to just add the branch myself because I don't like a very thick branchy wreath. So in this case, I do have some branch. I have bittersweet, which is it's seasonal. It's doing really great right now. This is called bittersweet branch, and I'm gonna add this to my wreath to make it look a little bit more branchy. But this is basically what we're going to work with today. So I have the ring, this is copper beech. Copper beech is amazing. It's leafy, it's everything you want fall to look like, and it dries really great. So the key to a good wreath now in the fall, we're in Miami, and I always have to advise people on dryable things because the heat here is unbearable. So we're gonna use the copper beech, which dries really well on your front door. We are going to use a pampas, like I mentioned, which is, it comes fresh, but it dries great. And this bittersweet branch. I've already gone ahead and I created a copper beech base. This is all leaves. And I kind of just created a foundation to work off of. What I did first was I cut pieces of the copper beech. You can see 2 pieces like right here. I cut pieces of it, and then I just started with bind wire, coated bind wire, which you can also find on Amazon. You can also find it at Michael's. I started tying the stems around the wreath. From here, I'm gonna start working with the pampas. And basically what I'm going to do is I cut it, and I'm gonna start bind wire is gonna be your friend anytime you're making a wreath. I'm going to tie the pampas onto the wreath with my bind wire. There really is no like right or wrong way necessarily to do this. Like once you've layered enough leaves and enough pampas on here, you can cover any bind wire that's sort of sticking out so that you can hide it and things like that. But I'm going to just make my way around with the pampas. And you can put the pampas anywhere you want, anywhere you feel like you want it. So this is totally up to you. For me, I am going to place the pampas exactly where I want it to go. Maybe you want to fill the whole thing with pampas, which is beautiful. I've seen it done. I'm not going to fill the whole thing with pampas, so I'm only going to put it in certain areas specifically. But go ahead and do that. And then we can move on to the branches, to the bittersweet branch. All right, so I picked the areas where I specifically want the pampas to go. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my branch, my bittersweet, and I'm going to fill in. First things first though, a good idea in this situation, if these are the things that you're working with, if you have some extra copper beech, I would use it to lay on top of any bind wire that you have out in the open that's covering the pampas. So it sort of covers all that excess bind wire. So I'm going to just, wherever I see bind wire from the pampas, I'm gonna lay a copper beech leaf on top because I don't want it to show. So definitely save some of the extra leaves, have extra foliage like leafy, really pretty autumn flowers just like hanging around. Okay, so I've covered all the bind wire with, this is what it looks like right now. It's not done. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna add some of this bittersweet. And I'm full of pampas. Beware pampas, it sheds like crazy. So I want to talk about this bittersweet. This is one of my favorite berries right now. I think bittersweet and ilex. Ilex berry is really, really beautiful. We use them in our winter wreaths. They come in red, they come in yellow. But I love bittersweet because it has a really like unpredictable shape to it, which makes it very branchy. So what I'm gonna do with the bittersweet, look at this. They come yellow, and then once the peeling comes off, they turn orange. And these are beautiful if you can see the yellow right here. These are beautiful if you have vases, like empty vases at home. Buy a whole bunch of bittersweet and just leave it in the vase all season. So I'm gonna use this yellow one. I really like it. You know, I just always look at my wreath. I see where I feel like I need like an empty area maybe that I feel like something will thrive in. I love how this bittersweet branch hangs off. The little berries hang off the bottom, so I want this specific branch to hang off the bottom. So look for characteristics in whatever branch you're styling. But you know, at the end of the day, this is so much dependent on someone's taste. So just do what you want, or what you feel looks good for you. Whenever we have wreath workshops, everyone's wreath looks so different. And that's the point. So I'm gonna take these little, God, where are they? Here they are. I'm gonna take these little berries. I'm gonna place them at the bottom because I wanna beef up the bottom right now. For me, I'm one of those people that I love a bottom heavy wreath. So this is where I'm at right now. It already looks like it's coming together. The other thing I'm gonna do is I have a pretty, basically where I don't have pampas, I'm putting bittersweet. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm gonna add some bittersweet to the top right corner. You know, things like bittersweet, they don't look attractive necessarily, but they're so beautiful once you style them. And if you just clean all of these leaves off, you'll have the most beautiful branch flower. Dried, ready to style, don't have to do much. It's the easiest thing in the world. If you're styling at home, that's what I got right now. So this is what I'm thinking. What do you guys think? The reason that we started doing this because I could not find pretty wreaths. I could only find tacky wreaths. There was nothing that had style. You had all these like faux leafy things going on, which I was kind of just sick of, and I wanted to do something myself. I'm gonna add, you're gonna see how good this bittersweet looks. Love bittersweet, I'm not gonna enough of it. We buy box loads at the shop right now, so if anyone wants a bunch of bittersweet, we've probably got it. All right, here's what I got. You know, I can keep going, I might, but I'm gonna stop right now. I'm gonna sit on it, I'm gonna style it. But here's where I'm at. You know, this is a good place to be. So as you can see, I made this really beautiful like falling waterfall feature with the berries at the bottom. I want to call them beads. I don't know why. I guess they kind of look like beads. I styling with that copper beech right at the beginning, and making this foundation was so, even though it kind of you can't really tell what I started styling with first, but it did a good job of providing an initial layer, and then having all this pampas as accent is just so pretty. If you feel like the pampas is too tall, you can always cut it, but here is a pampas, copper beech, and bittersweet wreath. Enjoy!